This particular, my favorite boss battle of all time. And I stayed up till 5 a.m. I was like, I think I figured her out 10 hours in.
All right.
But then you figure out a boss, but then the other half of it is just execution. And I was like, I can do it. I can do it. Yeah. The only thing that stopped me was that Sydney literally needed to Sydney literally needed to come down. That sounded bad. That sounded bad.
Why did you pause there? Literally needed to come.
Boys ready? You boys ready to say goodbye?
Let's do it.
To 2024?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm your host for today, Garnts. Joining me once again are the boys, and we are just about ready to say goodbye to this year of
mid-year, if you ask me.
Mid-year?
It's been a bit of mid-year.
Why?
Just not a lot of stuff has come out this year.
Sounds like a you problem.
Not a lot of stuff has come out.
Say like, man, I played a metaphor. It was a good game. No.
Hey, I enjoyed it, and you didn't. That's a you.
If I see metaphor on this 3x3, I'm flipping this table.
It's going to be on there.
I'd say quite a lot of stuff has come out.
It has been a shit year for everyone.
Yes. Yes. Clearly. Everything has been shit. It's been mid. Even the memes are mid. You know,
yeah, memes have been mid this year.
What is the most popular meme this year?
If I know, dude.
This is a Garnt question.
Do people keep
up? Why are you throwing questions out like this?
I was just wondering what's, normally there's like a few memes that I can remember over the year, but like Hoktur, is that like the biggest thing this year? That's the closest thing that comes to my memory.
Was that this year?
Memes just make me depressed.
This is the problem with memes, is that like it could have been a meme from like 2 months ago, and I'll be like, it feels like last year.
Yeah.
Because every day it's like the internet is deciding like, no, this is a great meme. No, this is actually a cringe meme.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't have time to keep up with
most
this
memes
shit.
are pretty cringe.
But we are not going to be talking about what we don't like this year, because we're going to be talking about some of our favorite things, not that even came out this year, but favorite things that we might have gotten into, watched.
Oh crap, I chose mostly things that came out this year.
I chose mostly things.
I thought that was the point. Okay.
No. It's just some, this is us being a bit.
This is not the first time we've
done this for like 2 years, Connor.
It said 2024 best of, and I was like, okay, it's got to be the best of 2024.
No, it's your favorite things of 2024.
Yeah.
That makes me think like, I have to have come out in 2024.
No, not necessarily.
We literally did this last year, and I believe the year before. It's just
shit.
We're being a bit self-indulgent, and we're being like some of the best things we discovered.
No. We're being
year.
retrospective.
Okay,
that's a better phrase.
Okay, Joey. Okay.
We want to share it with our lovely audience.
Yes,
of the things we were into this year.
If you're a regular member of Trash Taste, then you will know that we normally do a 3x3.
Yeah, they'll probably know as well.
Yes. So we have a 3x3 grid of some of our favorite things. Who wants to go first?
Why you look at me? I guess I'll go first.
Okay, Connor.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah. So
I didn't do it to be like you should do it. I was waiting for someone to say something.
This is all my favorite thing. Any questions? Anything you want to talk about? I'll explain.
Yeah. How often were you doing fucking rock climbing?
Me? I go like every 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why have we never talked about this?
I told you I go rock climbing.
No. Yeah. You said, I think you said in one episode that you've been like once.
No. I go like every 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I go with Felix like every 2 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so
I fucking scratched myself up the other day. Fuck.
What got you into rock climbing or bouldering?
Felix
was
like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing rock climbing. I was like, all right, I'm down. I like monkey shit. So I was like, I'm down. And it's been very, very fun. I will say though, out of all the workouts I do, it is by far the most like painful afterwards. Your arms are like fucking mummified.
Like
you're like, yeah. Then you're like, someone's like, hey, can you pass me the water? You're like, you like crumble, like someone like poked you, like I don't know, your rectum. You're like, oh,
yeah, because do you normally use muscles that you don't usually use like during
it's all like
workouts, right?
Yeah, I'd say mostly, because the one thing that you use, you don't like, even when you lift weights, you don't do it as much.
Yeah,
like the grip strength here, around your wrists is like cosmic levels of gravity being forced on them.
Right.
Or in my case, my cake. I have to carry it up. But yeah, no, I've been doing it a bunch.
How good have you gotten at it?
I do like V5s, V6. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Do you want to explain?
Not for me. For
They're-
the audience.
For the audience. of
Bouldering has a
course.
scale. They decided it has to be done with a V's.
Right.
And where am I at? I'm at the higher end of intermediate, they say. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, V5s, V6s. I cannot do V7s. They are way too tough for me. And especially just a scale of like how easy. And you'd think that like I thought, because I didn't know much about rock climbing before, or bouldering specifically in this case. I thought like if it was harder, it was just meant that like there was less rocks or something. But it turns out I was like, actually, it's not that at all. The hard ones, like V7 onwards, they have no grip.
Yeah.
Like you're like basically like hands against, it's fucking impossible. I don't know how they do it.
It's also like, from my experience, because I've been bouldering a few times with Felix this year as well. Some bouldering places also just like straight up lie.
Well,
Where it's like they'll say like, oh, this is a V5, and you're like, this is way too easy for a V5, and then you go to a V4, and it's like, this is V8.
yeah. I mean, look, I like pretty comfortable doing like V5s, but I can do some V6s, but then I'll struggle on some V4s because like there's different styles. Well, not styles. There's different like if it's just an overhang with very nice grips, it's like all right, I can like strength my way through that. But sometimes it's like a very small technical one that I'm not very good at moving my legs around properly.
Yeah.
It's
like the swing around and stuff.
swings are tough because I've got too much weight. So anything that revolves me around moving my weight,
Bottom heavy.
Bottom
yeah, it's kind of tough, but it's it's been really fun. It's been probably the sport activity I enjoy most outside of cycling. I'm just enjoying it. I'd love to do some more.
How much
stuff with it.
technique have you like learnt with it?
Fucking nothing.
Or have you
Nothing.
just like literally just cavemaned your way through of like trying to
No,
get
I mean
through this?
I think the big thing that I'm constantly trying to do is like when you do bouldering, you always think like it's all about the arms, but I feel like it's so much more about legs and where you're positioning your legs constantly.
Right.
And moving your legs at the right places and not like flailing around is a really hard thing to get better at, but I'm slowly getting there. I'm getting better.
Because the whole technique revolves around like you're not supposed to technically carry any weight on your arms. It's all in the legs.
I mean, sometimes you have to, but
Yeah.
ideally you don't want to be using situations or find yourself in situations
Yeah.
where you are like only climbing with your hands. Like you want to be climbing, like your feet should help you, then your arms secure and pull you up, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea, but it's just not that easy. I mean, it's fun though. It's really rewarding. I like it because it feels like I get a pump. Sometimes when I go to the gym, you go there and you lift the weights, but you didn't lift the weights. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
just kind of did what you normally do. You didn't do a great job. You didn't get the pump you were looking for, but you didn't have the energy to go for it either.
Yeah.
But it's still better to do it and then do nothing, right?
Right.
Whereas rock climbing, you can't do that. It doesn't give you the option to like half-ass it.
Yeah.
You will get a workout more than you intended always, and I like that because I'm bad at like lying to myself. I'll phone in my workout. I'll do 5 kilograms less than I can just because I'm like
Like still counts.
Yeah.
yeah, because in my head I'm like it's better to do something, but then I'm like, man, you can't just fucking add the weight that you should be doing. And then whenever I go, because sometimes me and Felix go to the gym as well, and he'll be like, nah, you can do more, and I'm like, fuck you, Felix, bro. Fuck off.
You both are just
like a
like
dad. You can't lie.
Yeah, you both are just like competitive toxic gamers at your peaks.
Yeah, but he's crazy, bro. He's in insane shape. I'm not so much. I just kind of like I'm athletic, but not like I don't take care of myself well enough to.
Yeah.
My body fat is like too high.
Makes me think
Too many
because
beers.
Felix basically quit drinking, right?
Yeah,
Damn, it's just like I think that's just the secret.
it is.
It's
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
it's kind of most of it.
yeah.
I refuse.
Giving it up completely is just something different.
You're too British for that.
Yeah, we're just too
Look, I
fucking
can cycle
British for
across the
that.
fucking country and still have a beer at the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what's
knowing
the
you
point.
have a beer waiting
Yeah,
for
man.
you
Yeah.
at the end of it. That
Only reason to make it through the day.
sometimes that beer after like a hard day's work just hits
It's true.
different.
That's true, man. That's true.
You know?
And so, I mean, I just like food and drink too much. It's like it's my passion in life. Speaking of food,
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the hell is that thing at the bottom?
bro, this is Daps' famous hood joint.
What is it?
Why you guys not? What
the fuck is it?
I don't know
Daps'
what this is.
famous hood joint.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Dude, it's this place in Kichijoji, and I talk about it all the fucking time on stream.
Yeah.
I literally, me and Pete, it's like
Oh, it's actually called Daps' famous hood.
it's called
joint.
Daps' famous hood joint, and my goodness, the chicken and rice is something else. It is diabolically good. And he does like chili cheesesteaks, which Pete loves, but I've never ordered it. I've only ever ordered the rice.
Okay.
Chicken rice. He does it New York style.
Right.
It's like turmeric rice.
Is this a chain or is this just one
it's
store?
One store,
in
baby.
Kichijoji?
One store, and I ordered chicken and rice like fucking like daily. This dude, show the pic, dude. It doesn't look like much.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like much.
I mean, as someone who orders a lot
telling
of
you.
chicken and chicken over rice,
That doesn't-
sandwiches
yeah,
look too bad.
sandwiches look
He
great.
does like an
though.
omakase burrito too, but this has like been
Omakase
that's what I
burrito?
get. That's what I get. Show this is like Garnt's nightmare. Click it.
Oh
That's
my
what I
God.
get.
That's so much sauce.
Chicken and rice,
all right.
and they sauce. But the best part is the
Yeah,
chicken.
that's kind of fire.
It's like a dry rub on the chicken. It's
Okay,
so tender. It's phenomenal.
I'm looking at those sandwiches though, dog.
Dude, the sandwiches
look
also.
sick.
Dude, this is my spot, man. If you come to Japan and you're missing some American food, yeah, and you want some good shit, so it's an omakase burrito, so it changes it every day. So you just get whatever. whatever's in the
okay.
burrito.
Okay.
It's just been my fucking spot, and then it looks
Did
like
Pete
this inside.
introduce you?
Yeah, Pete introduced me. Pete goes there so often. The guy was like, "I'll name a sandwich after you, Pete, if you want."
You know, I'm looking at these sandwiches now, and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe quitting the beer might not be enough.
Okay, maybe beer's half the
yeah,
work.
this-
you
these
saw
seem
how
big.
much sauce is on that rice, right?
Yeah.
In a day now, if I order this, I don't need anything else because I'm like,
Yeah,
can't.
why would you? Because you are done. Your calorie intake is just done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to have the drinkable mayonnaise because I think
Yeah.
you're drinking the mayonnaise right
See,
there.
I've-
Because he packs these things full.
Yeah.
So the rice, it's like the perfect amount of sauce in the end.
right.
See, I've
So
been eating.
saucy.
I'm not
chick-
complaining.
Yeah, I've been eating chicken over rice like almost every day as well because I think
Yeah.
it's healthier than some of the other shit I've been eating. But mine's doesn't have any sauce on it. It's
So what? It's just you just
Just chicken and
you just
rice
raw
dry
dog chicken and rice.
it's a dry rub. It's a dry rub. Dry rubs are so OP,
with
bro.
Japanese rice. No,
Oh,
thank you.
come on, bro. Come on.
No, thank
come
you.
on.
You gotta use that like the turmeric rice. It's so fucking fire.
Turmeric rice is pretty fucking goated as well. I
Yeah.
love,
So good.
yeah, I love my turmeric rice as
So
well.
I order from this place maybe like 3-4 times a week. Sometimes they're not open though, and it breaks my heart. 'Cause I'll hype myself up the whole day about it. I'm like, I can't wait.
That's a little too much sauce for me, if I'm being
No,
honest.
it's because you can't see what's underneath, Garnt.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good when you can't
That's
see anything underneath.
Dude, it's like the weight of this package tells you everything you need to know. When you get it and you pick it up, you're like, oh, this man cares. He
Yeah.
cares so much.
Replace the rice with like hot chips, and that's basically my diet during uni.
Is the name maybe a little dumb? Yes, Daps' famous hood joint.
Nah, I would argue that's a great name.
Yeah, I always fucking hype it up to whenever I'm streaming as well. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm getting Daps. I'm getting Daps. It's just so good, man. It's definitely like 2,000 calories though, but it is
Yeah.
worth it.
I mean, is it is the guy running it Japanese or is he like
yeah, I lived in America for a while.
Lived in America for a while, so you know it's so
It's
you
phenomenal. I mean, look on the
yeah.
inside with the it's like red brick steps. There's no seats. There's just steps.
that's how you know.
Yeah, man. It's that
you
New York
know.
attitude. Fuck you. You want a chair?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
No, fucking give you a chair. It's so good. You gotta go there. You gotta go there.
All right,
Trust me,
we'll
trust me,
go
trust
there.
me.
We'll go
you can
there.
order it. They deliver, man. And
They
it's
deliver?
a game changer.
I'm probably not close enough to get delivery
be.
from that place.
This place is close enough.
Okay. So going on to some of the other stuff on there as well. Of course,
What are you talking
Slay the
about?
Spire.
So let's find the board
The
game.
board game,
specifically.
which I mean, you introduced me to that, and
Yeah.
it is the best board game I have played.
I mean,
thus
yeah,
far.
got me into board games basically.
Still need to
I
play
like
it.
board games.
Yeah. We talked about this briefly on Trash Taste, but Joey, you definitely need to play it. If we have an extra it says on the board game website 2 hours. It's definitely like a 3-4 hour kind
Yeah,
of
it
like
takes a
board
long
game.
time.
Especially if you're going through some of the later stages. I think we really lucked out on our first
did luck
playthrough
out. We did
because
luck
we
out.
managed to beat it. That's just because I got the perfect combo off on like the final boss.
Right.
Yeah, we were fucked.
How close is it to the actual video game? Because I've only played the board game. I've never actually played the
Yeah, well,
roguelike video game.
pretty much very close. I want to say like if you played the board game, you can play the game and vice versa.
Yeah.
Some mechanics are slightly different. Like vulnerable works slightly different, whereas it used to be like I think in the card game it only takes one attack. In the digital game, it's all the attacks that turn.
Yeah.
So there's very slight differences, and also the numbers. In the card game, the numbers are a lot smaller because obviously you have to count yourself, and that's and already the numbers get pretty big.
Yeah.
Let's say the Spire, they can go up to like 700 damage in one turn. Like they can get really dumb.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a simplified like numbering system. It's phenomenal. If you like Slay the Spire, which everyone I know who has ever touched the game has loved that game, you will also love the board game. It is phenomenal.
Yeah. If you can get someone to guide you through it as well, it makes it a lot like easier. I mean, even for me, I don't really play roguelikes, but I have played like card games before, and the biggest selling point for me was this is the first time you've just played where I've experienced playing like a co-op card game. You know, normally when I think of card games, it's all like
PvP.
Yeah, PvP against each other. But this one, it's PvE, and you are all coming together, and you have to look out for each other as well. I think the goated mechanic of this is if one person dies, everyone dies. There is no continue. If one person dies, everyone's out of the game. Damn. So you are as invested as each other.
You can't just be like, fuck that guy. I'm a
yeah, exactly. Even if someone is like giga throwing, or building up for an attack that never came. Not going to name any names.
We might have had someone who did that.
Might have had someone who did that. Not going to name any names. He's not here to defend himself. But, you know, sometimes but you got to work together playfully. And I would be interested to play the 4-player version as well.
Yes.
We did it with 3 players last time.
4 players is good too.
Yes.
What else you want to talk about?
Well, you got to touch upon everything, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to go for? Balatro?
Balatro. Do you think it's Game of the Year? Game of the Year?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on here for you.
Yeah.
It is on there for you.
It is. No, I don't know. I haven't played Metaphor. I'm sure if I played Metaphor, I'd feel like that is Game of the Year.
I think you'd want to kill yourself. Actually.
Wukong looks like ass cheeks.
Does it?
Yeah.
I know close to nothing about Wukong.
I don't know anything about it, but I just watched people play it and I thought, wow, this looks so boring.
Really?
What about it looks boring?
I don't know. It just looks like it has that issue that I think a lot of games from China have, where they look like weirdly over polished, but like the movement isn't quite as like slick as maybe something like Elden Ring. Because I'm just trying to think like a comparison.
Yeah,
it sucks to compare it to Elden Ring because Elden Ring is like
I'd say a closer
amazing,
comparison to
like Sekiro.
Not even Sekiro. I'd say a close comparison, if anything, is probably God of War. When I played through, so I've almost completed Wukong at this current point, and Elden Ring was like a big point of comparison, and I'm like, this feels so wholly different to Elden Ring, and it more felt like an action RPG to the level of like something that is reminding me of like God of War. That's probably the closest thing. I'd say that my biggest problem actually is that there's no map.
And the world looks really boring. Like when I see the world, I'm like, oh wow, cool.
Oh really?
Yeah, at least whenever I opened up someone's stream.
Yeah, pull it up because I have no clue.
Well, because like the big problem with me for like Black Myth Wukong is that it relies on a lot of knowledge of like Journey to the West, because it is a sequel. It is technically like its own sequel to the story that happened in Journey to the West.
Oh, okay.
And if you understand the story, which, you know, a lot of people who grew up in Asia, this was part of their like core reading, they probably would have appreciated the story of this game a lot more than I did.
Well, it's just Dragon Ball, isn't it?
Yes, Joey. Yes, it is. Thank you.
It's Chinese Dragon Ball.
It literally starts off, the game literally starts off with Wukong on like the cloud.
Yeah.
And all the anime fans are like, oh my god, it's like Goku. It's just like Goku. No fucking way.
I can't believe they copied Dragon Ball.
Yeah. But
I mean, it looks good.
I mean, this looks better than what I saw.
Yeah, I honestly
saw when I watched because I watched like 2 or 3 streamers play it. One of them guys was just in this like canyon sand area.
Right.
Yeah.
He's fighting like a frog.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks lame as shit.
Right. Yeah, I would say that my favorite part of the game is that
I mean, this looks cool. This
looks really cool.
Like one thing that's very impressive is just how many bosses are in this game. There are basically no repeated bosses, and every level has a ridiculous amount of bosses. That are like all unique.
Yeah.
Anime fans will say this is Goku versus Naruto.
The movement when he's like fighting him like doesn't look as weighty as I would like.
Yeah,
personally.
so
it looks kind of floaty.
Yeah, what I liked about it feels totally okay. So what I liked about Wukong is that it feels a little bit more like you are in a martial arts film. You know, it's much quicker, and they're
they're moving on wires and stuff.
Kind of like
In
you
a
have to
sense.
react a lot quicker. So there's this perfect dodge mechanic where you leave behind a clone.
That's kinda cool.
when you get like the perfect dodge, and when you hit that, that's super satisfying.
Right.
With Elden Ring, it's much more like weighty and
Yeah.
crunchy, and you know there are some attacks in Elden Ring where you have to like wait 5 business days
long.
for them to complete their attack. Whereas this one, it's more like pow, 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 pow.
Just like go in.
Yeah, you go in,
Yeah.
you get a combo off, you dodge perfectly if you can,
Yeah.
and then you get a few more combos off, and there's this one attack, if you can get enough combos off, that is very, very satisfying, and that's the charge melee attack.
Yeah.
But I would say, you know, the only reason I didn't like this so much was because I came out of Elden Ring to playing this, and that's like coming from like one of the most goated games of all time to playing what I think is a very good and solid game. I would like to see, like, I'm not crazy about Black Myth Wukong, but I definitely enjoyed my time with it. You know,
But like I don't know. Just when I'm watching this, I'm like, yeah, it like when you stare at it like this, it looks good. But then when you're seeing like when he's being hit and stuff, he's just kind of like moving or floating out of the way,
Right.
and it just doesn't look like anything carries weight. And
Yeah.
Like
to me,
it feels too video gamey.
well, it's like you looked at what like something like an Elden Ring looks like and how the boss fights play out, and you're like, oh, let's just replicate it.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. To me, I know it's very
Yeah.
like it's a very like whatever criticism,
yeah,
but it's just to me, I look at it and I'm like, I'm okay. Like I'm good.
yeah.
And you know, it just doesn't have. I don't know. I can't exactly explain it. I wish I could. It just doesn't look like it has that kind of full feel that I want out of a game like that.
Right.
And I would rather play funny poker game on this.
Funny poker game.
Yeah, like genuinely, Balatro is amazing. Like it's so
So
good.
what was the mechanic of this one? What
Have you played Balatro?
I actually haven't.
It would
no.
break you. We would never hear from you again. We would genuinely never hear from you again.
Well, what is it?
It's like the most fucking addictive game of all time. It's
I've
just
heard that.
it's just like you literally just make poker hands. So you get like eight cards in your hand, and then you just have to make the best hand you can.
Yeah.
You have discards a set amount. You can only play like 4 hands a turn. You have to get a certain amount of points. But then along the way you get these jokers that like do things where like if you play a diamond, time your thing by 4. And then maybe later on you can get an enhancement that allows you to change some of the cards in your hand to diamonds.
Right.
So you can. It's just like imagine, like poker on meth. It's just, but you're not playing against other players.
So it's poker deck building.
It's poker deck building, but you're not playing against any other players. You're
Yeah.
just trying to make the best hand you have from your hand.
Right.
Right.
And like every turn, it depends. There's different modifiers, but generally you'll get to play 4 hands, and you'll get to have 3 discards. You
Right.
can discard any amount of cards in your hand 3 times. Then you got to make the best hands you can and meet the score to continue.
Okay.
And cards are worth like, so an ace is worth 10, a king is worth 10, and then 9's worth 9. But then there's multipliers.
Okay.
So there's different things. It sounds so boring, and it's one of those things where I'm like, just play it. Like, just it's impossible to make Balatro sound cool,
Right.
or interesting. Well, maybe someone else.
Is there a
could.
storyline?
No story.
I sleep.
No story. Like it is literally just trust me, bro. Play it, and 5 minutes will turn into 5 hours after you blink.
You are in debt to the mafia, and you have to play a game of Balatro in order to pay off your debt, or you die.
I'm awake.
No,
No, but like legitimately, like this, I feel like this is gonna itch like the mahjong loving part of my brain.
Yeah.
Can you Google like Balatro crazy
Balatro
combo
gameplay.
or something, just so you can just see the level of like shit stuff that goes on. Just you know, I'm sure.
Fibonacci combo.
Fibonacci
is crazy.
combo.
So like all your jokers do things. So like in his hand now, and some of the bosses do different things. So all face cards are drawn face down, for example.
Okay.
So you wouldn't know what they were. But then you have to kind of like suss out based on, you know, what's going on. So he's going to play a full house, and he's got some other jokers up top, which are, so yeah, that re-trigger each played 2, 3, 4, or 5. So if he ever plays those, they score twice.
Right.
And then he's got like each played ace, 2, 3, 5, or 8 gives an 8+ multiplier when
Right.
scored.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
So you just like stack combos.
so now he's gonna all of those cards are gonna times the multiplier, add an 8 to the multiplier, which is that red thing, and then that other one's gonna trigger them twice, and so it's gonna the combo's gonna go crazy. So when he plays it should do something. It should go like.
What is the highest score you've got in this game? And what
Me?
made you stop playing?
You just have to stop after a while. You just have to. I mean, your life will get consumed by it.
Yeah.
And so it scores like this, and it's got some really nice sound design. And it's just good vibes. Music's great.
I mean, it looks clean.
Yeah, it's just
I
fun.
like the stylized look of it.
Everything plays, and then like when the combos get, that was not a crazy combo. You can get literally to like the power of E. It'll be like E.
Oh, shit.
E08. Like, yeah, you can get some.
Damn.
Every combo came together for 130 million points. Maybe type in Balatro highest combo. Just so you can get like a feel.
I guess it's the 130 million.
Yeah, let's see the 130 million combo.
that's definitely
This is
higher
a
than
26.
Yeah, where does he do it?
Yeah, where does he do it? Let's see.
26
there.
minutes long.
Okay, there he is. Okay,
All right, let's see this. Okay.
so he's just, and then you can turn some cards into glass.
Wait, where did the glass cards come
Yeah,
from?
there's just so many different like things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see like, yeah, the combos get dumb.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
pretty much
just fun. It's just good shit.
pretty much what everyone has told me is that this is a ridiculously addictive game.
Yep.
Even Sydney played this for a little bit.
Yeah, everyone I know who doesn't even like video games, I'll be like, try Balatro on this thing, and then they'll come back in 2 hours.
Is this on the phone? Because I feel like this
It's
is
on phone.
This is the
This
thing
is a
that you-
perfect mobile game.
Yeah,
I
this
feel.
is made for like mobile games.
It was everyone who had a Steam Deck played this basically.
right.
That guy, yeah, look, that guy, he has 30 quintillion. You see what I mean? The combos you can get are like insane.
It's an hour-long video.
Yeah, look at that. He just fucking got a quintillion casually. You just skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah, look. I think it's right at the end there.
Yeah, right at the end, I'd say. We are, most replayed.
Okay, so look at this deck. He's built a full deck of aces, which you can do. You can add more aces. You can get rid of cards. You can add cards.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can get like really dumb. So the combos go fucking ridiculous. But to beat the boss, he has to get 5.8 quintillion. This because it can go on endless. So normally there is an official end.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is an endless.
Damn, he
mode.
lost.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, so it's really fun, really addictive, and it was just fun. I mean, like I've consistently been having more fun with indie games lately.
Yeah.
Like I play League. I can't talk though, but
I'm surprised League's not on your.
oh fuck that, fucking play it. No, fuck off, gone. But Balatro is just really fun, and then
the next thing you got addicted to, you talked about this as well. Satisfactory.
I don't want to get too into it. It ruined my life for a while. It's an amazing game.
Are you out now?
I'm out. I beat it.
Oh, you can beat it?
Yeah, I built a particle accelerator, and what else did I build?
Out of context, it sounds insane.
Well, I went from building an ironing factory to building particle accelerators and dark matter generators.
Hell yeah.
And then I opened up time travel and portals and shit. So,
Yeah.
just kind of,
So is there like a end screen?
Yeah, because so there's an end screen and cutscene because you're basically you start from nothing. Your goal is to build. You just kind of told, hey, build some stuff. Then they're like, okay, build a space elevator. You
Yeah.
build this giant space elevator. And then like, all right, now for the next part of the space elevator, we need all this stuff, which will take you like 15 hours to get. So you're like, oh, okay. And then you build it, and they're like, all right, for the next part of the space elevator, we need this, and it does that like 5 times.
Yeah.
And then you finally have built everything, and then you get to build the rocket that sends off to the next set of builders on another planet somewhere. Okay. Spoilers.
Damn.
It's very good, very good. I won't get too much into Satisfactory. All I will say is that if you think you will like this game, you will love this game. It is like Minecraft, like turned up to 11.
Damn.
Like,
Wow.
Yeah, it's way, way more.
I mean, I don't know, man. Garnt can barely play Minecraft, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's true.
You got to give it a go, though, Garnt, apparently.
Okay. I guess the last game on this 3x3 Power surprised us on that.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
played Palworld a fuck ton this year.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you ever talk about it?
yeah,
You talked about it briefly? I don't think you talked about it for that long.
I played it for like 60 hours.
Damn.
Oh shit. Okay.
Put a lot of
Okay.
hours into it. I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun actually.
Yeah.
And then it's got a little sauce box. They came back and then supported the charity.
Yeah, I
auction.
saw the animation for the charity
And
as
that was
well.
so fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So they were just their whole team was so sweet. And really nice. And so, I just thought the game was really fun. It was very, very buggy and messy. But I still had a lot of fun with it. And
Is it just like the combination of just like, fuck it, we're just going to put this mechanic in it?
Well, yeah, the game, the whole like Pokemon with guns, there wasn't that many guns in it. It's like some of the pals have guns. Not all of them do. Some of them have rocket launchers. That's different. But the main thing I liked was just you like had to build a base as well, and there was a base building mechanic, and all the pals worked for your base.
Yeah,
and that was really fun. And then like finding all the pals was like just awesome. It was like actually fun to explore. It was so fun. I had a great time. I got super addicted to this game when it came out. And so I think it was easily one of the things I enjoyed most.
All the games I can see on here, I'm just like, they have one and done addictive gameplay loop that's you just keep doing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, because like I didn't actually play Palworld in the end.
Me neither.
So I didn't know if it was like a meme.
No, it was actually really good. It was really good. It's really popular in Japan now as well.
Oh, really?
It's done really well in Japan now.
Okay.
I think it's like
At
top of
TGS this year, that when I went, it was the biggest booth there.
Right.
Which was like insane.
It's cool to see them doing very well. I think that they've crushed it. And the game's great.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the reviews down online. People playing it.
Didn't it make like
the concurrent players
$500 billion in revenue over its like lifetime?
Yeah. I mean, they had. I'm not sure if they had like the all-time concurrent player count for like a while.
I think they did. Yeah.
But yeah, they've had like a pretty consistent player base since then, and they've been a really cool community.
Yeah.
Just the game's awesome. And it's been cool to see. Even with all the bullshit lawsuit stuff happening. Like it's cool to see everything that's been going down.
I mean, I think that just judging from what their reaction is, I don't think even they knew it was going to be this big. I
went to their offices,
right?
And met them all, and they were really sweet, and it was really, really wholesome because I remember the articles came out and they're like, yeah, the guy who designed the guns was like a combini worker. Like, and I met him. He spoke English, and he was like, "Yeah, I love guns." He's like, and I was like, "How did you learn English?" He goes, "Oh, I just like was super interested in like American culture."
Yeah,
like guns.
Yeah, I was like, "Was it true? You working on this while you were like combini?" He's like, "No, they like found him off of Twitter." He would post his gun modeling on Twitter, and they found him and they were like, "Hey man, come work for us." And that's how it came about. Like it's all like wholesome stories.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah. It was just it was a good game as well. I liked it a lot.
I mean, from the looks of it, it's some of the game mechanics is just like so weird because sometimes I look at the things in Palworld and I was like, this doesn't feel like
so much jank in it.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like a cohesive world. It more feels like, hey, we just put this in because we think it's cool. Like the fact that you can like catch people, you know?
Yeah, it's so fun. You can cut them up.
Yeah. That's wild.
Which I love. I just think that they just said like, it kind of felt like can I do this? And you could always do this.
Yeah.
As well, Shogun was really good this year. Phenomenal TV show. I don't know if you guys watched
Yeah, we had some amazing TV shows
was awesome
on here as well. Did we talk about Shogun when that came out?
I don't think we did. I think we just joked maybe about how I look like John Blackthorne.
Yeah, because I found out through Shogun from all the trash taste memes about about Connor being John Blackthorne.
Mariko-sama.
Yeah.
Mariko, we must help them. I want my men returned to me.
And then I watched Shogun and I realized, oh, he is John Blackthorne.
I still never got around to this one, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
I think this was a super impressive series. One thing that I really, really enjoyed about Shogun was just how they handled like translation and interpreting.
Using it as a plot point.
Yeah, and kind of like using it as a plot point for, okay, there's this kind of like trust system because John Blackthorne doesn't speak Japanese. So he has to trust other Japanese people to translate what he's saying as accurately as possible. But you can see the difference between what John's saying and the difference between like the subtitles and just understanding Japanese as well is like, so, you know, John says something that's like 5 sentences long and then Mariko is just like, yes, he liked that. Yes, he agrees.
It's just an amazing show. I don't know about season 2 though, about how they're going to do anything with it. But
are they doing a season 2? I thought they were just
season 2.
Oh man, I thought this was just going to be miniseries.
It was so good. It was so good. I really loved the show. I'm glad it won like 1 million awards because it deserved it.
Yeah.
Another show, The Penguin.
Penguin.
Actually, surprisingly, one of the shows I enjoyed the most this year.
You were raving on about
Dude,
this
it's
one.
so good. No one talks about the show. I guess because it kind of got buried on HBO and not a lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
But Colin Farrell, my God.
Colin Farrell fucking kills it in this one.
I've never been more like impressed by a performance, genuinely. Like it's so good.
Because when people were recommending The Penguin to me, I just
Like
Googled it.
superhero, oh.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, Colin Farrell. Oh, okay. And I watched the first episode and I was like, when does Colin Farrell show up?
Yeah.
I did not realize that Colin Farrell plays the Penguin.
Damn.
Because he not only looks different, he sounds so different as well.
And look, this Penguin takes place directly after the events of the Batman movie, the new one.
Yeah.
Which Colin Farrell is in as well, but he's not in it that much.
You see a little bit of him.
Yeah, you do get to see him, but in the TV show there is no superhero stuff. There's nothing to do with superheroes.
This is a mafia series disguised as a Batman.
Yeah. And it is so good. I don't want to spoil anything, but just watch it. You will be grateful. Colin Farrell's performance in it is diabolically good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you just want a good, if you like mafia stories and gangster movies and, shit like The Sopranos, Godfather, Goodfellas, all that kind of jazz, this is right up your alley. And I don't think just Colin Farrell. I think Sophia Falcone was such a great fucking character as well.
Phenomenal.
And just seeing her evolution as the series went on as well. I thought there was some absolutely fantastic fucking episodes in here.
Please, if you watch one TV show this year, watch The Penguin.
How many episodes is it?
It's 10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So it's
no, it's 8, right? Oh, is it 10?
No, it's 10 episodes.
That's 8.
8.
It's 8.
It's 8?
Yeah, it's 8. What are you talking about?
Wait, am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Shogun, aren't I?
Shogun is 10. Shogun is 10.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 8 episodes? Damn. Okay. But every episode,
it has an amazing ending.
I haven't finished it yet.
That's amazing.
I'm very close. I'm very close to finishing it.
Well, the last episode has a 9.6 on IMDb.
Oh shit!
It's a great
Okay.
episode.
Well, that's the thing because I was like, I didn't hear anything about the Penguin. I didn't hear anything about the Penguin right up until the last episode.
It's so good, man.
I will say that they have like set everything perfectly for a grand finale. So it's good to hear that it has a banger ending. Okay. I don't know. HBO just like knocks it out of the park.
I don't know how they always do this. They always just make the best TV shows.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I mean, I just think they have like the fucking right staff members working.
I know, man.
Just
it's
to
crazy.
Craft the perfect TV show.
Must be.
So good. Please watch The Penguin.
Yeah, it's this is kind of just like, I don't have too much to say about it. It's kind of like talking about Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, it just has amazing writing, amazing casting.
It just speaks for itself.
Amazing acting, amazing everything.
Yeah, so everything's amazing. It's all amazing. You should watch it.
Okay.
Go back to the 3x3, and the last thing is Arcane.
Yes.
I was thinking, because I had a spot to fill, and I was like, fine, it can be Arcane. But it was either that or like Dandadan, but I was like, Dan hasn't finished yet. I don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed. I'm up to date on Dandadan, and I've absolutely loved it, and it's probably my favorite anime this year, which is so generic to say. Because I've been watching Orb as well. Orb's been really fun, but Dandadan is just. It's so good.
Yeah, Dandadan's fucking amazing.
I want to talk about that now. I want to talk about Arcane.
Let's talk about Arcane.
Oh, the misery.
So, Joey, you might not want to hear this, but they did keep the opening.
They kept it?
They kept the opening.
Kill me now. Kill me.
Joey's like instant 1 out of 10.
Yeah, instant 1 out of 10.
But I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to spoil my list because Arcane is on my list as well.
So good.
And it is fucking incredible. Is it as good as the first season?
No.
Unfortunately not. I think
that's like asking like Van Gogh doing a masterpiece. It's like, is it as much of a masterpiece as his previous masterpiece?
Yeah.
No, but it's still pretty close.
Right.
Yeah. If I had to sum up Arcane season 2, I'd probably call it a flawed masterpiece. Because I think taking my criticism out on like the writing and some of like the pacing of like the later episodes, for an animated series, there is, I think, one thing that comes close to this. And
American Dad.
Yes, Family Guy. No, the only thing that really comes close to Arcane on like a technical level is probably Into the Spider-Verse, because I can't think of, and that was a film, mind you.
Yeah.
I can't think of another animated series that even comes close to touching just the raw visual fidelity and artistic expression in some of the scenes in Arcane.
I mean, the little that I did watch of season 1, like the visuals were just constantly impressive.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just wish they had like another episode or two.
I don't even like people are like, oh, I wish you had like season 3, and I'm like, I don't even think it needed an extra season, because I don't think
she needed like an extra episode or
yeah,
two,
like
just to let like the big battle at the end.
Yeah, just to let some of the character moments breathe a bit more, and let some of the battles just kind of like play out and
It's
feel like more natural.
It was good watching it because you're watching Arcane and it hits such a high point halfway through the season. I felt like with a couple of big reveals and a couple of good character moments.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is amazing, and in your head you're like, there's no way they can wrap this up in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You get to this point where they've set up so many amazing things, but you just know something's gonna have to be rushed or cut. And unfortunately, it does feel that way when you get about near the end. You're like, it was good. I don't think like you said, a whole season would help, but just another extra episode or 2 just to help the show breathe a bit, and pacing towards the end especially, would have really I think cemented this as like one of the like a absolute masterpiece. I mean, it still is.
Like I said, I think the biggest thing is that there just wasn't a character that came close to touching Silco in terms of like an interesting character. Silco was just like on another level in season 1.
I thought Mbessa was really good in this season.
I thought Mbessa was. I thought she.
The voice actress. Like,
I thought she was. I thought she was interesting, but in terms of like having an interesting character on the same level, no one really comes close to Silco. And there are like a few antagonists in Arcane that, Mbessa's one of them. There's another one as well, which you can probably guess if you know League lore. That kind of just like comes out, but no one reaches the pure, amazing writing.
Yeah, Silco was definitely a high point, but the animation,
I think they actually stepped up, and that was
godlike,
impressive, because I thought season 1 was already godlike, but there was some sequences in season 2 that fucking dropped my jaw to the floor. I think there was one in episode 3 where there's like this big fight and multiple fronts happening, and it's done to like. One thing I love about Arcane is like the musical numbers. Whenever a musical number comes on, it is such a goated fucking sequence, because what they've done right is it almost feels like an AMV. But it's not an AMV. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Because obviously this team had worked on the cinematics before. And with cinematics, you have to like condense storytelling to a very, very short time span. And they've taken that skill set and they've applied it to some of the most amazing fucking sequences that add on to the story that has already been told.
I thought Echo's character arc was phenomenal as well.
Yeah, I really loved
that.
Yeah, I really liked Echo's character arc as well.
Just so many good things in this show that it deserves the praise, and I am very excited for the next League of Legends shows, because the world is objectively fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's just can they rein it in and
what world would you want to see next?
Dude, I would have loved like the Shadow Isles or Bilgewater, but we're getting fucking Ionia and fucking Demacia and Noxus, because we've got to sell Lux and Ahri skins, motherfucker. We got too many of the shit. Bilgewater would have been so much cooler, bro.
Bilgewater would have been fucking.
Give me a fucking like
Shurima as well.
Shurima would have been sick too.
Yeah, that would have been sick. But I am looking. I think
Noxus will be cool. Ionia will be cool.
I think Joey's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think Demacia would be cool. I think there's a lot of potential in Silas's story, because he's the fucking Kingslayer, man. Silas's story, I feel like has so much potential to be something like fucking epic.
I think a Jin story would be good.
Jin would be cool as well.
Jin.
Yeah,
there's this character that is voiced by the same guy who voices Raiden, I think, in Metal Gear. His character is that he's obsessed with the number 4. So he shoots 4 bullets, then reloads, and he talks like a psychopath, but like a calm one. and everyone loves him.
Come on.
Because he always like kind of like whisper talks.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's just, everyone loves him. He's very stylized.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think everyone loves his character a lot.
He's very like flamboyant. He's all about showmanship. So he's a serial killer, but he's a serial killer who basically wants to make.
He's really fun
He's
to
a
play.
fabulous.
Yeah.
He's very fun to play as well because he has the four on the fourth shot is like a big, like a beauty. It's got this meaty sound effect that goes off when you hit it. It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. Everyone loves Jin.
Yeah.
Really good.
Jin's cool, but
But now we got some more Lux and Ari skins, so let's bring another fucking TV show for them.
I mean, I'm excited for more. Whatever they're gonna call it, probably won't be Arcane. Probably would be a different opening this time as well.
Yeah, please.
Darius.
Can we just fucking bury Imagine Dragons? We don't need.
No, dude, it's crazy. Imagine being Imagine Dragons. You lucked into like the sweetest gig of all time.
Right?
They're like it's like Weekend at Bernie's. They're like reanimating Imagine Dragons to keep making them make music.
Do you think Linkin Park's gonna do the season 2 opening?
I hope not.
I can imagine that happening.
I don't want that.
I'd rather that. And I'm not even through with that.
The only thing I actually hated about season 2 was the moment where they did like someone goes heavy as the crown and they stop playing the heavy is the. And I was like, that is so cringe. It's so cringe because you know what happened. The exec came in and was like, hey, can you just put this song in somewhere? Because we kind of got a ding-a-ling. Can you just throw it in? Like, it felt so forced.
Right.
It felt so
I
forced.
feel like-
and I hated it.
I feel like it was less forced and less cringe than in season 1 when literally Imagine Dragons just turned up and sang
that
their
was cringe.
song.
That was cringe.
And sang their song.
Yeah, Joe, you should watch it.
So you haven't gotten that far yet, Joey,
Yeah.
but there is a sequence in season 1 where Imagine Dragons just in universe.
Okay, they don't just go like, hey guys, it's Imagine Dragons. They're just in the background playing the fucking song, all right? It's not that bad. You make it sound. It was so
This is a
cringe.
go to church.
It's so cringe because you just know that the executive came in and was like, please, you have to put the song in. Or we will not meet our quarterly demands. Like, you know what I mean? I hated it.
I mean, I feel like in season 2, at least it was like on theme to what was happening on screen. It was barely, but it was like less of a pulled me out less than just fucking suddenly out of nowhere. Let's introduce the band.
I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit so
good.
much.
I love that opening. Never skipped it once.
Industry
I
plan.
I never skipped it once
Dickheads.
either.
All right, let's move on
All
to
right, let's
Garnts.
move on to my one.
What you got?
So try to not include anime on here as I normally talk about the best, my favorite anime that comes out as my job. So there's only one anime on here, and that's because I can't really talk about it on my final best year of list.
That One Piece fan letter.
That is One Piece fan letter, and basically the reason I'm probably not going to include it is just because it's a 20-minute short film.
Okay.
But in terms of like a short film, this is everything that I fucking love about storytelling. It's telling an interesting story within a very short time span where you get invested, you get that emotional outcome, and it's just a beautiful it's just a beautiful piece of work. If you haven't watched One Piece, you probably will not understand this, but for any One Piece fan, this is the best kind of fan service that you could get.
Right.
What is it about?
Okay, so One Piece fan letter takes place during basically post Whitebeard War arc.
Okay.
Okay, so it basically people keep calling it filler, and I'm like, it's an anime original story. Okay, it doesn't mean it's filler, but it's a story about several characters, but all of them are just normal people living in this world of One Piece, right?
Yeah.
So you have the main girl there who is basically like a mega fan of Nami, and all she wants to do is meet like the Straw Hat crew.
Right.
And and then you have some other characters who are basically like just normal grunts in the Marine. And you basically see what it's like just to be a normal fucking person, just to be a fucking cockroach.
Yeah, just watching the world just like destroy itself.
What the hell?
Yeah. And there are just like some amazing sequences in this that just really humbles you to just what the fuck is like how crazy the world of One Piece is. There's this one scene that really stands out where it's like it's right in the middle of the Whitebeard War arc, and we follow these two brothers who are just fucking fighting for their lives in the middle of this war, right? And they see just admirals tearing shit apart, and just the Whitebeard gang just like invading stuff like that. And there's this moment where I believe like either like a massive tidal wave comes in or like a fucking huge ice block just like falls down middle of the war, and you're like, as a normal person, what the fuck are you meant to do? You know?
What am I doing here?
Yeah. And it was like such an amazing piece of storytelling, because it was almost like, you know, kind of like you are just like watching two people being completely helpless against people who are like completely overpowered in this world. And it's just the story of like this guy desperately trying to find his brother who he has lost on the battlefield.
Right. It like weirdly humanizes the NPCs of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. It was such an interesting concept just to see what is it like to live in One Piece and not be one of the named characters.
Like going to Shibuya during the Shibuya incident. Like,
yeah, exactly. Exactly, right?
It's like, oh, hell no. Oh, my God.
Hell no.
Is that a panda? What the fuck's going on?
And
That's fun, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like genuinely.
It's just 20 minutes long?
It's just 20 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
So is this like an indie animation or like?
So it's from Toei Animation. I believe they just made it. So it's one of the, I think one of the best animated pieces of work One Piece has done as well.
Right.
I mean,
and it's,
go ahead, sorry.
yeah, it's like movie level animation. It has like its own unique art style as well.
The world of One Piece is like almost like the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, tried to be like, let's try and do some side things.
Yeah. Because what watching
Like
this made me
original.
realize is, you know, the world of One Piece is so vast that you could make a series like, you know, something like the Penguin, for example. That
When are we going to get the crocodile?
No shit, honestly.
That would actually be
honestly, Baroque Works.
Gritty.
Just imagine a Baroque Works anime that takes place in the world of One Piece.
Dude, that would be so fire.
Like, it just makes, like, this made me
The one
realize.
with all the assassins?
Yeah, the one with all the assassins.
So you want to be number 9, huh? Well, you got to work your way up.
Yeah,
Ain't
like-
that easy.
It made me realize there is so much potential for just interesting storytelling in the world of One Piece that isn't just being fucking suited up pirates that can solo like an army. You know?
for sure.
And this was an amazing concept. Any One Piece fan, highly recommend you watch this. It's only 20 minutes.
Sounds like even I could enjoy it.
Huh?
Sounds like even I could enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I think even you can
I've
enjoy
read
it.
a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you put Three Body Problem. The TV show?
Yeah, the TV show.
I've never heard of this.
I've never had a quicker loss of a chub in my life than this show.
Oh, really?
This started off so strong and then became so bad by the end of the season, I felt.
So I've kind of come to like a realization, for example, where I was like, you know, I too watched Shogun this year. I too watched the Penguin this year, and you know, I've come to realize that a similar take to what I feel about Breaking Bad, where I can objectively say these are amazing fucking shows. These are amazingly written, amazingly crafted TV shows, right? But I'll be honest, I'm probably going to forget about them or forget the exact like.
What the fuck are you saying?
Because there are sometimes there are certain things and ideas that stand out to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to me, the Three Bodies Problems stands out to me just because the ideas presented in this show, it's not the cleanest show in the world, right? But the ideas presented in this show are just so fucking interesting.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I got so hooked on it. I thought the concept was like
Do
amazing.
you want to explain the concept? Because I've never even heard of this before. If you can.
How can I explain it without spoiling it?
I mean, it looks
Do
sci-fi.
you know what the three-body problem is?
No.
It's, you know, in planetary orbits, it's said that it is like impossible, I believe, to figure out the orbit of a third planet in a two-planet orbit.
Okay.
I could be saying this wrong. I'm not very good at this stuff.
Right.
To my understanding, it's so like difficult to calculate that.
Right.
Yeah.
3 points of masses.
Yeah.
So
I see.
how 3 bodies
Because it becomes really chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So even now we can't predict what the movement will be when you have 3 bodies in the system, because if the initial conditions are just slightly off, that vastly changes the behavior.
We've got a big ass formula right there.
It's like chaos theory.
No, this is literally chaos theory, right? Where we can predict it up to a certain point, but unless you know the exact initial conditions, you cannot predict the 3 bodies problem.
Yeah.
But this show basically takes all of the interesting ideas that you hear about in sci-fi, in is this a spoiler? I can't remember what's a spoiler in 3 Bodies Problem and what isn't anymore.
Right.
Instead, I'll just tell you the first episode. Right.
Okay.
Because
I just still love the my lord. I can't stop fucking thinking about it. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it is cheesy, but
I know. I love it.
Yeah, I loved it because there were like so many interesting. Obviously, this was like, let's take all the interesting thesis papers and just try to make a TV show around it.
I remember the first episode, but you should explain it because you should explain things good.
Okay,
or
the first episode, right, is for some reason, a lot of scientists in the world suddenly are just dying. Okay. A lot of them are committing suicide. Some of them are just mysteriously dying off, and no one can really explain why. So there's this one scientist who is working on, I believe, a new technology, microthreads, that is like a new nanotechnology. And one day, she has a countdown that appears, just like kind of like just
like Death Note.
Yeah, like Death Note. It just appears, and she doesn't know what it means, right?
It was counted down I think 2 days.
Yeah, it's kind of like 2 days. She doesn't know what will happen, but with the news cycle, she can kind of guess what's going on, and she's not sure how to deal with it. And one day she randomly meets someone who seems like she's in like part of a mysterious cult or something, and she talks about the countdown, and she's like, okay, what you need to do if you really want to be a true believer, right, is at this point in time, just look up at the sky, and the sky will look back at you, right? And so it all builds up to like what will happen at this point in time. So the episode ends when she looks up and she can see like the night sky, and the entire sky just starts flicking on and off, like a literal
all the stars.
Yeah, all the stars just start flicking on and off, on and off, on and off.
Okay.
And you're just like, what the fuck is happening right now? Right. And so a lot of season 1 is like building on this mystery of like just exactly what the fuck is going on with this world. It's kind of turning into chaos, into anarchy. And there are so many like twists and turns with where the show goes. But what I will say is a lot of the twists and turns are based on hypothetical scientific theory that I fucking fall asleep to.
It's the science of it all. Is it really kind of make believe interesting if you're into that?
Yeah. Kind of.
Is it like actually based on real theories, or this is just theories that the show made
I think there's like they take an element of truth and then twist it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But like they take some really interesting concepts that are real concepts and then kind of like butcher it into being more of a fiction show.
Yeah. So let me say like one of the theories that is contained in this. Have you heard of the Dark Forest theory?
Yes.
So
I don't know what that is, so you can explain as well.
So the Dark Forest theory is, what's that paradox where we don't know why we're alone in the universe again?
It's not a Lenz's law. What's it called? It's like, if there's, it's this paradox of if there is if there is intelligent life out there, then why haven't they contacted us?
Why haven't they contacted us?
Fermi's paradox.
Fermi's paradox. That's it.
Silent, hostile.
So this is the Dark Forest is one of the hypothetical solutions to the Fermi paradox, which is the question is why, if we are not alone in the universe, why have we not been contacted yet? And the Dark Forest theory says that one of the solutions to that is that no one wants to transmit themselves, broadcast broadcast their existence to the wider world, right? Because they know that if they broadcast their existence, there's probably going to be a deadlier being that will snuff them out. Because we know from humans, if we see something, or if we see an animal or an object or anything that is stupider than us, then that doesn't end well for the less intelligent being. Either they get snuffed out.
I think it's called the 99% problem.
Yeah.
It's something like that, where it's like chimpanzees and humans are 99% genetically similar, and it's that 1% difference that makes the difference between humans and chimpanzees. And it's like, well, if only 1% of difference made that, then like who knows what's out there in the universe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool show, cool ideas, but there was so many problems.
It sounds right up my alley.
But it was
honestly, that's what I'm saying.
It was the showrunners were the Game of Thrones ones.
Oh, okay.
The brothers.
The brothers,
who fucked Game of Thrones.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so half the cast is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So you're watching the show, you're like,
yeah,
it's this guy. What's this guy? And I will say, and I know this is like a whatever criticism, the CGI in the show is so bad.
Oh, really?
It's diabolically awful.
Damn.
It's shit. It's actually impressive how bad the CGI is for a top budget, like modern.
How bad
TV
are we
show.
talking? Are we talking like,
dude,
like live action Japanese production live action anime bad, or?
Dude, the CGI is just like all the Reddit.
What was with the CGI?
I'm banging the shit. Yeah, it's just weird, man. It looks really like it looks like it's like 15 years old, like the CGI. And there's some core scenes that really rely on it, and it just makes them like there's like one scene that would be like really intense, and it's kind of ruined because the CGI just kind of makes it dumb.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. The CGI in this is not the greatest.
The boat CGI was so bad.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't help but just laugh. It wasn't fun. It wasn't bad at all. Like sorry, it wasn't like scary at all or like horrible because. It's bad.
The boat scene just came out of nowhere, I'll be honest.
I didn't mind the idea of it.
I didn't mind the idea. It was just
like the animation.
It was just weird. The vibe of it was weird. But I would say like I said, you know, I very much enjoyed The Penguin. I very much enjoy Shogun. But sometimes you just watch a series that is just right up your alley for the type of ideas and the type of ideas presented in it. And this was it for me. This was everything that I want in a TV show. Mind-breaking ideas with put into a drama. Wasn't the cleanest, but I really fucking enjoyed it.
The fucking footy. He's at the footy.
So
he's going into a bit of footy.
He's into the sport ball.
So I got back into following football this year.
Hey.
I am
water cooler conversations unlocked for life.
Yeah, several. So my journey with football is obviously I lived in England, so by osmosis I needed to know a lot about football, and I did for a long time. Then I moved out of England, and I've lived out of England for like must be a decade now at least. And one of the hardest things that made it. One of the things that made it hardest to follow the footy was that the time zones, and
watching
also
highlights is lame.
Yeah, watching highlights just doesn't do it as good. Fair. And also, no one around me really talks about the footy as well. And it seemed like my bubble in the anime sphere, no one really cared about footy.
You never got into the footy?
Nope.
Yeah,
because my parents like forced me to, so I kind of like pushed back and liked video games.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
but I felt so pressured by everyone to like it. That I ended up.
Yeah, and
Arcane.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this year it just it feels like, I don't know how, because I feel like footy had already reached peak popularity, but footy now is like, football has just like kind of like gotten into even like a lot of popular culture outside of just England and Europe. And part of the big reason I got back into it was I watched Ted Lasso. Which was I've already talked about it, but such an amazing TV series. Basically, Onizuka takes charge of an English football team. That's the best way I can describe it. Teaches them life lessons as opposed to teaching them football tactics, and somehow it works. And also the Euros was this year as well.
And you watch Mr. Beast collab with Ronaldo,
and of course Ronaldo. I mean, here's the thing. That's the thing, right? It seems like football in general has just even Americans are now starting to.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Yeah, and there's a few reasons for that because America right now, Messi is playing for the MLS, which is the American League. America is doing everything it can to to make football more popular, and in some ways there are some wild fucking ideas because modern football is nowhere near the same football that I grew up with. It has gotten far more globalized than the Premier League in general. It's just leagues beyond popularity of any other league right now, to the point where there were talks of like some Premier League matches taking place in America.
Damn.
And that blows my fucking mind that this is number one, even a conversation because
Is it allowed?
I mean, money talks, and I hate that idea personally. I hate that idea, but the fact that we're getting to that point where Americans are starting to embrace football in general, that blows my fucking mind. And also, there was a time when the team I supported was sucked. Well, it was good, but then it sucked. So the team I support is Arsenal. Yes, there's a Man United fan, and I can't imagine being a modern Man United fan. Let's be honest, that's just embarrassing. But yeah, so I just got back into following football, and it seems like there are more spaces now where I can just talk about football and people know what the fuck I'm talking about.
The safe space is getting larger.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I've realized I've missed so much from football, and I wish that sports did this, and I wish they didn't take the American model, relegation and
they still have relegation.
Yeah, but no, I wish other sports did it.
Yeah.
Because in America, it's all franchise.
Oh.
Your team will never. You come last, no punishment.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think, and again with esports, they took the American model, which was really sad.
Yeah,
because I feel like we lost out on a lot of cool narratives and a lot of genuine interest in sports.
Yeah,
in favor for this more consistent team base.
Yeah.
Whereas look, the Premier League is the most expensive league in the world. And
by a long shot, actually.
It's not even close. And they can maintain a relegation and promotion system.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of like fairy tale story that we all kind of like get really excited about, where a team can promote.
Yeah.
Kind of have this once in a lifetime run and win the league, which you can't have in America.
Yeah.
You'll be like, damn, this team won. It's like, yeah, because they had a franchise spot where they put 500 million into it.
Yeah.
Like there is no aspect of it that is kind of organic, I feel like. And
because to add on to that, because like when I say, I've been talking about the Premier League quite a lot on stream, and people ask me, why aren't you a Brighton supporter? Because Brighton are pretty fucking good right now. At the time of recording, they're like 5th in the league. Yeah. And I, the reason I said was when I got into football, Brighton was not even in the same division. They weren't even in the division below. They were in the second division, like 2 divisions below. Right. Brighton was my local team, and Arsenal was like my Premier League team.
I mean, yeah, you have your in the UK. Yeah, everyone has their local, everyone has their team. But and I feel like it's also mainly what your family.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I got into Arsenal, and I remember talking to some of like the anime men about this though, because they were into football, and it made me feel old when I was like, the reason I got into Arsenal, and one of the boys asked, is it because of the Invincible era, where it's like, this is like peak old, in the old days, Arsenal and Man United were like the top 2 rivalries, and there was this one season when Arsenal went unbeaten. And that was my era of Arsenal, and that's what got me into Arsenal. And he was like, yeah, I know that because my dad was into Arsenal for the same reason. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
So it's crazy because I don't keep up the Premier League. So there's some teams I'm like, I do not recognize. Brentford.
Yeah, the Premier League is totally different, but I have been getting into Brighton actually. Brighton are like the hipster pick of the Premier League,
really?
Because they're which is on brand because they're the fucking hipster city in general. But for the amount of money they spend compared to all the other teams, they are way overperforming, and they continue to overperform every year, and that's based on like their scouting system is like on a new level.
As someone who knows nothing about soccer, I don't even know what the fuck.
Let me sell you on Brighton, right? Because the reason I talk you,
the fuck am I looking?
The reason I talk to you, the reason I can talk to a lot of Japanese people about Brighton is because there is a Japanese player, Mitoma, who, if anyone in Japan knows football, they know Mitoma.
Okay.
He has the most fucking anime-esque backstory I've ever heard in my life, right?
Okay.
So this guy, right? As a kid, he was offered professional contract with the team he was playing with, right? And he was like, no. At 10 years old, as a youth, he's like, no, I'm going to turn that down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to university, right? And what he does in university is he studies sports science, right? Okay. So he studies and majors in sports science, and his final year's thesis was the art of dribbling, right?
Okay.
And so he takes everything he learned in university, because the reason he wanted to go to university was to literally study football and study the science of football. So he takes everything he learns and he comes back and he just crushes the pro league in Japan, gets signed by Brighton, and is now like he's one of the best dribblers in the league, you know.
Wow.
This is a man who got up there by fucking studying. That's the
Oh, that's cool. That's anime as fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, it is
I'm
anime
glad you
as
like
fuck.
football. All right, what else you got?
Yeah, all right. That was just me wanting to nerd about football.
I mean, obviously in the middle there we've
We
got
spoke about Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. So
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to speak. I didn't want to speak about Elden Ring in particular. I just want to say like banger. This particular my favorite boss battle of all time.
Yeah, you like that?
I fucking love that shit.
I hate that stupid attack. Fucking hate that dumbass attack that I could never fucking block.
I mean, that sounds like a skill issue to me.
It is a skill issue.
Because I have never had so it took me, I think, it took me 15 hours to complete this boss. Right?
God damn.
Me too.
So yeah, Millennia. It took me 15.
Clocked in.
Yeah, 15 hours to defeat this boss, and that was like the fastest 15 hours of my life.
It's just fun trying.
Yeah. I literally, so I streamed this and I stayed up till 5 a.m. to like, I was like, I think I figured her out 10 hours in.
Right.
But then you figure out a boss, but then the other half of it is just execution.
Right.
So I was 10 hours in and I was like, I can do it.
Yeah.
The only thing that stopped me was that Sydney literally needed to Sydney literally needed to come down. That sounded bad.
Why did you pause there? Literally needed to come. I had to help. I had to go and help.
It's not the stream, it's the stream before this. So Sydney literally needed to come down and was like, honey, can you come to bed, please? It's 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
It's 5 a.m.
Dodge that shit. That's fucking tight.
Yeah, and so, you know, this was the second stream when I woke up and I did it in like 3 tries afterwards. But I think the biggest thing I liked about this mechanic was she has a lifesteal function.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hated that. But I think that's the reason I really, really fucking like this boss. Because to me, this boss was like the epitome of like, get good.
Yeah, you have to dodge. Yeah.
Because you have to dodge, you have to learn the attack patterns. Some bosses you could just...
Man, nice parry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, oh yeah, I also did it the hard way because I had to like parry her all
That
the way.
parry was disgusting.
And the reason I fucking loved every second of this was because of that lifesteal function. Because some bosses I kind of like cheesed by just tanking more damage and just out damaging them. With her, I literally just as the Souls, you know, fandom says, just get good and just learn everything and execute it perfectly.
Right.
And that's what I did. And there has not been anything that's been more sasatisfying for me than just this boss battle. And I would kill anything. Kill for this experience again.
I would kill anything.
I would come.
I would come for this experience again.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Damn.
What else have we got in the 3x3?
So what else do you want to know about?
What is DamiLee?
DamiLee. So I fell down a weird rabbit hole in YouTube this year.
Nice.
Fell down the architecture and city planning rabbit hole.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this.
Yeah.
Nothing gets me worked up.
I have to really credit DamiLee. Is it DamiLee?
I think DamiLee.
Okay, I really have to credit DamiLee for this because she's a YouTuber who does basically video essays about architecture. But how she got me into it is she does this really fucking interesting thing where she uses the weirdest and wildest architecture you can find from popular media. Like she analyzes. She's an architect herself, so she's clearly very knowledgeable in the subject.
I've seen these videos.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a few of these.
Yeah, so she will analyze maybe the architecture in June and how the buildings really characterize the city that they are trying to portray in the world. And she talks about it in such a fucking interesting way, because I do not give a shit about architecture. I never gave a shit about architecture. And I always find it amazing when I find a content creator that can make me give a shit about something that I have absolutely no interest in. And I think she has a really good balance between, really obviously real architectural knowledge where you can learn something, but tackling topics that are just interesting. Approachable. That are approachable, that anyone can understand. After watching her, I fell in this weird rabbit hole of like city planning and urbanization, and now I am.
That was not on my bingo card for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now there are like some topics like talk to me about super blocks and why every city should have super blocks.
What the fuck is a super block?
What the fuck is this? Okay, let me tell you.
Why did you ask that question?
Let me tell you about super blocks, Connor. It is a system that almost any city can integrate to get less cars on the road, right? And giving more power to pedestrians and people walking around. So basically you take a portion of the city and you just make a block out of it, right? And then you take that block and you're like, okay, only very few cars can drive through the roads of this specific block. Okay. And then you plan around public transport to be to get to and from that block, get rid of parking in that block. And so what that means is that people can just start walking around again. And it sounds so simple, and yet I kind of realized, some of my favorite parts of like going to a festival or something, or going to events, is whenever they cordon off like the roads and you could just walk around on the roads. There is more space for like businesses outside. It just feels warmer and it feels more like a community. And that is what the super block structure is trying to emulate, basically. And
I've never seen Garnts be this passionate. It's really cute.
like walkable cities.
Yeah, it's like even beyond walkable cities. It's obviously walkable cities, but having spaces within that city that are just basically mainly for the pedestrians. So basically making, having like a park zone, but instead of like having just like the grassland be walkable, it's like this entire city area be walkable.
I mean, I'm totally for that idea.
I think most of us are down.
Yeah, exactly. It's most well known in Barcelona because that is a city that is literally built with blocks. But the idea of super blocks can pretty much be integrated anywhere. And we'd love to see more of this stuff. Sorry, this is a really weird tangent. Weird rabbit hole.
You love what you love, man. That's what the show's about. We share what we love.
I don't know where else I would get the opportunity to talk about shit like this.
Don't you ever fucking bring up super blocks ever again on the show, okay? I'm fucking leaving if you bring up shit.
But you can like I said, you can thank DamiLee for getting me down this rabbit hole. Thank you, DamiLee.
Shout out DamiLee.
Shout out DamiLee. Amazing content creator.
Memories of Matsuko.
Memories of Matsuko.
I've heard of this. I don't think I've seen it though.
Memories of Matsuko is a film that I actually rewatched. So I watched it ages ago, but I rewatched it this year, and I think it's now on my 3x3 of like my favorite films of all time. Oh, wow. Rewatching it. It is a film that basically shows the life story of Matsuko. It's a fictional film, so it's not like a biography or anything like that. But it shows the life story of this woman living the most depressing fucking life of all time. Every man she meets betrays her. gets her more
I think
depressed.
I've seen this.
Yeah, this looks really familiar. I think like maybe like my mum's friend
they
or something was like
remake this?
really big into this
They
film.
they didn't remake this, but it basically shows her life story. So it's like a really, really depressing story, but it's told in the most light-hearted, happy way you can imagine, right?
Japan is so good at that. Like
And-
it's like I think I saw like a whole video on it. It's like they're really good at doing it in like their films and like
Yeah.
music. I think it's called like Positive Melancholy or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like it feels lighthearted, but then when you actually think about it, it's like, nah, this shit's mad depressing.
Oh no, this
I don't know
shit,
how they do it.
This shit has it all. Like fucking abusive relationships, betrayal, sex work, drugs. Pretty much she goes through the checklist of everything bad that can happen.
She's doing a
will
live
happen.
speed run.
She is doing a live speed run of just like of just ruining her life. But it's like you say, it's told in such a happy, positive way. There are these like weird musical numbers where they kind of go into like, you know, 80s city pop. There's like 90s R&B, going through like her life in like prison and shit like that.
Right.
And when she joins a soapland, and I don't know what it is about the emotions in this film, but I fuck with it. You know?
I'm sold, man. I
Yeah.
wanna watch this.
It's if I had to, like, the closest thing I could think of in anime is the scenes that Hideaki Anno loves, where it's like in Evangelion, where it's combining the most traumatic shit with like some soft, like weird ass music that goes with it, whimsical music that comes with it, and that mess of emotions you get when you combine the two. That is this film in a nutshell.
Right.
That
It's
is-
like you don't know how to feel throughout like different scenes.
Yeah, you don't know how to feel during different scenes, and it ties everything together right at the end, because you know what's going to happen, because the film starts off not even from her perspective, but it's from her nephew's perspective, and her nephew visits her house because he finds out her aunt has passed away.
Right.
And so you know how the film is going to end. It doesn't have a good ending.
Right.
But holy shit, I
gotta watch this.
fucking cried so much during this, man. This is
I'm sold. I'm sold.
This to me is a masterpiece film, and very few films can make me feel the emotions of this film.
2006.
Yeah, 2006.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
What else we got?
So just a few things left.
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil.
So spoiler, this is also on my 3x3.
Oh shit! No fucking
This
way!
movie is fucking sick.
Hell yeah,
It's
man!
so good.
Hell yeah.
Okay, did something happen with this film? Because I was going to watch it, but then I saw a bit of controversy around it.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, am I crazy? Am I imagining this? But I wanted to watch this, and then I just never heard about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
This-
now I'm going to hear about it.
This movie's rad.
Tell
It's
me
so
about
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I watch horror films via osmosis because I am married to Sydney. So Sydney shows me a lot of horror films, and I like one out of every film that she shows. one per year. Last
Yeah.
year, I think it was like The Menu. This year, it was Late Night with the Devil, and it basically follows this fake late night TV show, right? Follows this guy who is desperate for views, desperate for ratings. And the concept of this late night TV show, and it's shot exactly like a late night TV show, is that he invites
from like the 70s.
Yeah, from like the 70s. He invites this girl on who is apparently possessed by the devil, right? And the way this film plays out, there are two real parts of this film. There is the TV show side of things, where you are literally viewing this like you are watching a 70s late night TV show. But every time they cut to commercial, you see it flips perspective, and you see everything happening behind the scenes as well, right?
Cool.
And
So the quality like improves like a 2020s film. And it's like widescreen, but like during the actual like programming, it's in like letterbox. And like
That's
old
nice.
70s type of show,
And the more that the film goes on, the more that things just seem off. Like more weird things keep happening, and it keeps building up and building up. But because the main character is like he like needs the ratings, like he he forces the show to go on, no matter how weird things get.
Course.
And the tension just builds and builds, and you get to a point where sometimes one of my favorite things that they added to this is they added this skeptic character, who is basically like, let's say Darren Brown, but just 10 times more of an asshole.
Got it.
Yeah.
And he has this segment where he starts like hypnotizing the audience and hypnotizing people just to prove that everything weird that's going on is being faked.
Yeah.
This girl is not possessed. She's
and there's like some kind of logic to everything.
yeah, there's a logic to everything. And things just keep getting weirder and weirder until everything just comes together.
Okay.
And
I'm hyped.
I'm
sold.
It's so trippy.
If you like analog horror, this is it. This is analog horror as a film.
I mean, I'm not a huge horror guy. I think I've said in the show, but I'm very much down to give it a shot.
I'm absolutely not a horror person either, but out of all of the ones that I was forced to watch, because Aki also loves horror films, I watched this during like the October, so like Halloween month.
Yeah.
And this movie was so good.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm sold, boys.
Such a trippy, such a cool, unique idea for a movie.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
so trippy. It made me feel sad because I finished this and I was like, I want to see more films that are like this.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to find something that was like, that gives me a similar feeling of this kind of like analog horror.
Yeah.
Of this reality, TV show reality versus weird shit happening behind the scenes. But yeah, highly recommend it. We all hate horror. I do not like horror at all. And this was great.
This one was good.
I watched a lot of horror films, most of them non-consensually.
Can I watch it before bed, or is it too scary?
I don't even.
I watched
Would
it
I pee
before
my
bed
bed?
tonight.
Would
and
I pee my bed?
I had no poop in my pants.
Yeah,
So it was
I don't
good.
even think it was like scary.
Scary.
It was
Yeah.
just
Like, good.
unsettling.
It's
Oh, okay,
creepy.
that's good.
Yeah, it
That's
was
good.
creepy, unsettling,
I like
which
that.
is the kind of horror that I love.
Yeah.
Me
It's
too.
really unsettling.
It's just like the kind of batshit insane horror.
And if it's on both your 3x3s, I mean, I have to watch it now.
And finally, this is my yearly reminder.
Trails.
Really yearly reminder for Trails to Azure, which is the latest Trails on my list.
All right, how many Trails games have you made it through so far? When did this journey start? Like a year ago?
2 years ago, I think.
2 years already?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
hell.
I have averaged 2 to 3 games per year, so I played 2 games this year.
Damn.
And Trails to Azure is fucking great. I've heard from a lot of people that this is one of the peaks of the series, and
All right.
I can wholeheartedly say that this was fucking amazing. And this is my favorite one so far, and everything this has made playing through all of the games previously worth it, because this was
How many hours you put into this series? You can just throw a number, guesstimate.
Well, how many hours on average per game?
probably like 40 to 50.
Yeah, that sounds about
40
right.
to 50 hours per game.
And you've played how many of the games?
This is the 5th game in the series.
As a fellow JRPG player, I am proud of you.
Yeah.
That's
So
such
I've
an
put like
insane amount of
200-ish,
hours.
200-ish.
10 days straight.
Yeah.
200-ish hours into this game series. I'm not going to stop, but suffice to say, the amount of twists and turns within the series, I think this arc that was presented in the series is the cleanest arc, because it's only 2 games and you're following far less characters, so the writing is a lot tighter. And there is a certain point in this where literally everyone in the previous games like comes together along with future
shit.
characters for
It's Infinity
for
War.
the games as well. And all they do is they come together and they have a meeting. And it was hype. It was hype.
It's like, yo, was that guy from that game?
It was they come together, have a big old massive meeting, and I was like, yo, this shit hype, man. Just seeing these characters interact with each other, and it was basically like the Reverie from One Piece, if you know that One Piece arc.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that is my yearly reminder that I'm still playing Trails. And if you're not playing Trails, if you are never going to, I'm not talking to you, Connor. I'm talking to the people who will want a payoff that is worth investing 200 odd hours.
Yeah, I'm
in.
really kind of upset that you said that, because it's just like every time you talk about Trails, I'm just like, I have to, I have to resist.
I trust you that it's good.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I know. But there is a certain group of people that will get what I'm saying, and I'm saying this shit is worth it. This shit is worth
I'm
the
saving
investment.
this one for retirement,
This
boys.
the shit, everything,
Got on the retirement list.
Yeah.
everything you've heard One Piece say about One Piece and it being worth the journey. This is the exact same thing for JRPGs, man.
All right.
Shit, man. Okay. All right.
All right,
Okay,
Joey.
my
What do
one.
you got? All right, some of this is not surprising.
Yeah, some of this is pretty self-explanatory.
Yes.
So I won't take too much of your guys' time. So from the top, so Metaphor ReFantazio, obviously my game of the year personally.
Yes.
Freaking amazing JRPG. Probably one of my favorite JRPGs of the past, I'd say 5 years.
Is it
also.
better than Persona 5?
I think it's better than Persona 5, personally speaking.
Better characters, better writing.
Yeah,
better...
I think just like it's what I made a second channel video on it. But I think the one immediate thing for me that made me realize I prefer this game over pretty much most, if not all, the Persona games is that like the Persona games, there's always at least one character where I'm like, I hate you. You know what I mean? Whereas like with Metaphor, even though there's like quite a large cast of characters, every single at least playable character for me, I was like, you're like really well written and just like a fun character to like interact with. And you know, for a game like this where it's like all about interacting with your characters and stuff, like you kind of need that.
Yeah.
But you can't get lost in Shibuya Station.
You can't get lost in Shibuya Station, unfortunately, but you can get lost in a fantasy world. So that's
you can't
pretty
romance
cool.
your best girl.
Yeah, that's true. You can't romance any of the characters in this game. But either way, yeah, it was an amazing experience. Again, I put like 90 hours.
Does every
into this
game
shit.
need romancing?
No.
No. It really doesn't. I'm actually kind of glad they didn't put romancing in this because there's already so much that the game throws at you in terms of like things to do that I feel like the romance aspect would have almost distracted me from the actual story of the game.
I feel like romancing is often a very like, it feels like an unnecessary mechanic added in games a lot of the times. Because you're not like really romancing. You're just like, oh, press this one and this one and.
Well, I mean, within like the Persona games with romancing, it's not just a matter of like, oh, let's go on date and like press a couple of buttons. It's like, you know, there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of glad they didn't put it in there because I think it would have just been a bit too distracting.
Right. The story's already strong enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Why distract the player?
Yeah. And like, you know, with like a lot of like the Persona games, you know, it's all about like interacting with the individual characters and getting to know them as you like advance through the main story. You can also go through like each of the characters' stories as well to like get yourself stronger in the game. And like all the characters' backstories were just like really well written. Like they weren't like mind blowing, but for JRPG standards, I think they were really, really good. So yeah, I really want Metaphor to be Game of the Year, but I know that's not going to happen. I'm just glad it was even nominated, and that's a W for us. Obviously, Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Oh my god, you're addicted to Pokemon.
I mean, I'm also including just like the physical Pokemon TCG because Aki and I got back into it this year.
What made you guys get back into it, or was it just like something natural?
I always wanted to get back into it, but I was like, I didn't really want to just like do it by myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I brought the idea up to Aki, and she was like, yeah, I've been thinking about getting back into it too. So we're like, all right, let's go. And now it's great. It's like whenever we have a day off now, we're just like walking around somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll just like find a card shop and just like spend time there. It's good fun.
I feel like you're just like collecting is just in your blood. Oh no.
I do love collecting.
You just love collecting
I
stuff.
do.
Hermit crab, man.
I know.
You're just grabbing shit, putting it in your mouth.
I know. It's like I collect Pokemon cards, manga, records.
I don't have. I like collected GameCube games for like one time, and I've never had that thing in my brain that's like I should just get everything. I should get everything.
I don't know.
Now I'm like, if I don't need it.
Joey just needs a set to complete.
Yeah,
something.
That's why like, for example, with like Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah.
Like most people's like focuses are like, I want to make like a really pretty town and you know, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, nah, dog, I want to get all the fish. I want to get all the bugs. I want to get all the paintings. I want to collect everything. Fuck what the town looks like. I don't give a fuck about interior design. I want that completed I want to see that 100% and then I'll be satisfied.
I wonder what part of the brain does that.
I don't know. I really don't know.
know.
But it's eating my budget alive.
Yeah, because like every time you get a new place, you're just like, I have more room to fit stuff into this.
I'm like, oh, this room would be perfect to put all my shit into. That serves no purpose.
You're just gonna need to like get newer places with more and more.
Yeah.
You're gonna have like the best fucking man cave of all time.
Oh my god,
when
dude.
you're like that age,
The
man.
moment I'm able to make a man cave, dog, it's gonna be the man cave of man caves. Every man will walk in and just instantly nut. I'll be like, oh, it's so good. This is such a good man cave.
Oh my god, so much useless stuff.
Everything is here.
Is it gay to nut in your friend's man cave?
Everything
Boys?
is here and it serves no purpose.
Right.
So yeah, there's that.
Nice.
I put gym up there because I was like running out of ideas.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
to be fair,
how's that going?
to be fair, I mean, it's still going strong. I've been doing CrossFit now for 10 months now.
Nice.
10 months?
Yeah,
Damn.
fittest I've ever been, which is good.
Hell yeah.
So I want to
Yes.
keep that up. Trying to go at least twice a week. But yeah, no, it's been good, and it's like it's actually been so like it made me realize like I always thought like working out and shit like that would just like tire me out.
Yeah.
But now
Gives you way more energy.
yeah, it gives me
gives
energy
you way
now,
more
and it's
energy.
great. Like, and I used to think like, oh man, I need to do like gym at like the end of the day so that
Yeah.
I could recover.
No, I do the
But
stuff.
like, yeah, I'm still slowly getting to the point now where I'm actually doing it in the mornings, and
love
it's
that. Oh,
fucking
shit.
awesome. So yeah,
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna keep going for that, and I will. I guess I don't know if I'm gonna show like progression photos or whatever the fuck.
Are you taking progression photos?
Not right now because I'm not really satisfied with where I am at the moment.
Right. But you took a before photo.
I took a before photo, yes,
Okay.
and I look horrendous. Like I look back at that now, and I was just like, God damn, who is this guy? But yeah, I'll get there one day.
Right.
I mean, look, it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
But I think the best thing about exercising is just helps your mental state. the
Oh,
most,
100%.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's good to hit these goals, but it's also you got to do it for the rest of your life. So.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's all about,
Exactly.
man, like, how do I just get into the habit of enjoying this and not hitting X pounds? It's like, all right, if I get into the habit of enjoying doing this, I'm going to have a lifelong hobby that is fulfilling and helps.
Yeah, for sure,
mentally.
for sure. No, 100% agree. So I'm hoping like I can just like keep that up in one way or another. But also
Nice,
like
fuck
I'm
yeah.
also like at the same time trying to just get into the habit of just working out on my own accord as well. So I've been like for the last like couple of months I've been slowly getting to the habit of just like if it's like if there's like a week where I'm like not going, then I'll just do like 20-30 minutes of just like
Yeah, I mean,
calisthenics.
like,
and
just doing anything is the
Yeah.
most important thing.
yeah, it's just like getting that habit going. So like I'm trying to build that up, but
Nice,
yeah,
man.
I'm getting
well,
there.
Hey, glad to see it's going well,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Congrats.
getting there. Anything else that catches your eye? We don't have to talk about Late Night with the Devil. We've already
What
talked about
is
that.
flowers for the Algernon?
Flowers for Algernon.
Oh.
Yeah. So So this is a book.
A book?
I know.
A book?
Like no
book,
pictures?
no
Shit.
picture book.
Not even like a light novel
Not
book?
even a light novel book.
A
This-
There's got to be like a coloring page or something.
no,
right?
no
Like,
coloring page.
Just words?
Just words. Just words.
What the fuck?
So this year I've like really gotten back into like just reading because I kind of missed that. And like one of the things I wanted to do is like obviously go out and like actually read new books as well. But one thing I've really wanted to do is like go back and read like the classics, if you will. Because I've like done it with like anime, I've done it with like
Yeah.
movies and stuff, but I
Yeah.
never really did it with books.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll take this time to like go back and like read like the books you need to read before you die kind of books.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. I'd heard about the name of this book for the longest time, but never knew anything about it. And I think out of all the classic books I read, this might be like the one where I was like, wow, this one is crazy.
We're good?
Amazing. So basic synopsis is like so it's told from the book is kind of structured not in like a regular way, but it's kind of written like diary entries
Oh, yeah.
from a character. It's the main character, Charlie Gordon, who is this kind of mentally disabled character. And it starts off, it goes in chronological order, and the book is written like he has written it. So because he is a mentally disabled character who like kind of has like speech problems and like, has a very, very low IQ, it's written in a way where it's really difficult to read at first.
Right.
Okay.
So like the all of the vocab is off, all of the sentence structures are off. Like it's like you're reading an actual person's diary.
Yeah.
But then they do this experiment on this mouse called Algernon, where it's like an experiment to try to raise a creature's IQ, and it works on the mouse.
Obviously, we got to try it
yeah.
on Charlie.
So the scientists go, okay, Charlie, would you want to become like the human experiment for this, thing? And he does it, and it's really cool because as the book progresses, he learns more words, and his sentence structure gets better, and he's able to actually express what he's feeling and seeing and doing in a much, much more fleshed out way.
Yeah, they should use this on the people in my League of Legends lobbies.
Yeah, for real.
It would help.
So you know, you're reading this, and you can see as you're reading it and progressing through the story that like, oh, he's learning words and he's learning to get better at writing and expressing himself, and that reflects on how you experience the actual story because it's all told from the perspective of these diary entries.
Right.
But then they later on they find out that Algernon the mouse suddenly passes away.
Right, of course.
Right.
And shows like a depletion of its IQ suddenly drastically before dying. So Charlie, our main character, sees that and is like kind of becoming self-reflectant on, oh, that's probably going to happen to me. So what am I going to do with my life? And it's basically just like this really interesting human drama about this character put in this like very, unique situation.
Oh, they made a movie about it.
They made a movie about it, yeah.
Okay.
1960. So the book is from the 50s, I believe,
Yeah,
1959.
right.
Yeah. So I was debating between this one and another classic book called Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, okay.
Both, I would say both are on the same level.
damn.
Fahrenheit 451 is also an amazing book. So I've been kind of, been dabbling in a lot of
It looks fun.
reading.
Yeah.
Well, depressing, but fun.
Yeah, this is mad depressing, but also it's just like such a cool way of storytelling, and it's
Yeah.
like a really unique way of storytelling that I found like insane. That like,
Yeah.
someone from fucking 60 years ago figured this shit out, and it hasn't really been done since.
Right.
So yeah, I can see. I finished the book and I was like, okay, I can see why people are like, yeah, this is a certified hood classic. Yeah, it's very, very good. Very good book.
Damn, you've ascended, Joe. You've
He's
gone from
lifting, he's reading.
yeah.
Bro, I'm put fucking food on my list.
God
I'm
damn.
in my glow up era. So yeah, very good book if you're interested.
Joey's actually
what
becoming
is-
cultured, not ironically.
Yeah.
is,
I just
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Unicorn Overlord. We spoke about this a little bit, right?
We spoke
Yes,
about this.
yes.
This is like if Fire Emblem. This is like made for Fire Emblem lovers, and I fucking love Fire Emblem. This is like Fire Emblem on crack, and it's so goddamn good.
Okay.
I probably put as many hours into this as I did Metaphor.
Oh wow.
Because it's
Does
just
it take that long, or is it just because you like the game so much you were like, I'm gonna stay another 40 hours?
no, it actually took that long. Like,
Oh,
well, I also did like play around with it a lot as well because there's just so much customizability in this, and there's so many ways to so basically, like, do you know how like a basic Fire Emblem game works?
I've beaten.
Okay, so you play Fire
of the
Emblem.
houses.
yes.
Oh, okay. So like that like it's based on a grid system kind of thing, and
like
it's like
I forgot I know there's a genre for it. Real-time strategy.
real-time strategy. Yeah. So this is a real-time strategy, except if you took away the grid system, and it's like fully you can just move anywhere type of thing.
Yeah.
And instead of one unit, you have a group of units that move together.
Okay, like little armies.
Like
Got it.
little armies.
Okay.
Right.
And instead of it being turn-based, it's in real time.
It's kind of like a battalion wars,
Kind of. But like what you can do is you can stop time essentially, and you can take your time to like strategize where to move characters and stuff like that. But then
Right.
once the time starts again, then everything moves all at the same time. So all the enemies move together, all of your units move together,
This looks cool.
and there's so much strategy involved in this
It's
because
just like my kind of game.
yeah, and also the moment you engage in a battle, a lot like Fire Emblem, it's all automated.
Oh hell yeah!
Right.
So essentially, you need to go, okay, we're going up against these certain enemies in this block. So what characters do I need where not only will I be advantageous in the fight, but also I can strategize it by using each unit's like speed meters or like comboing with different talents and stuff like that and different skills, and to like cause the most amount of damage as possible. And also, goddamn, like this is another like Atlas game, because Atlas just keeps fucking winning.
Well, this is from the same makers as 13 Sentinels.
Yes, this is made from so this is Vanillaware working with Atlas.
Right.
So the art style was all Vanillaware stuff. So if
looks
you
cool.
it's
Yeah.
really really cool. Really good fun, and my god, Vanillaware were fucking cooking because any waifu you can imagine, they have it. Like literally every genre of waifu exists in this game.
All right, that's good to know.
So they knew what they were doing.
All right, sure, say no
there's like a
more.
giant muscle mummy character who is fucking like goddamn. She's like 7 feet tall.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, it's right there, the left one there.
Oh god.
Oh,
yeah,
my
she's
God.
muscle mummy as fuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, great story, great gameplay.
You've already convinced me. You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
you-
on.
This has been on my to play list forever.
You just said I can have any kind of woman.
Any kind of woman, any kind of man you want to.
Hey,
You can swing it anyway, and you can romance them.
So
there you go.
I don't want that. I don't want to do that.
But yeah, this was like just a great fucking game.
Okay.
Really enjoyed it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, give it a go. If you even like Fire Emblem at all, definitely give this game a go.
Yeah.
What else is there?
All right, 3x3, we have Scallops Hotel.
Scallops Hotel. So this is an artist, music artist that I really heavily got into. So this guy kind of like goes, he has like 5 different names because I don't know why the fuck you do that. Scallops Hotel is just one of them. He was called Milo at one point. He was called Rap Ferreira at one point. He was called Nostrum Grosses at one point. Like he just has like all these musical things, but he's a rapper.
Okay.
But the way he raps is really non-conventional in the sense that it literally like, you know, when people who don't like rap music say like, oh, it's just like them talking over a beat. This is literally a dude who just talks over a beat.
Okay.
It's I would say it's more closer to like slam poetry in a weird way.
Okay.
And he obviously takes a lot of influence from like slam poetry because the shit he raps about is just like, what the fuck does any of this shit mean? Like, I literally need to open up a Genius like annotation on like every single line because it's just this like really heavy poetry.
Yeah.
But it's like really relaxing stuff as well. It's like kind of like, it's like if you listened to someone doing slam poetry over lo-fi hip hop. That's the only way I can describe
the
this
most
guy.
Joey thing of all time.
like what do you
has
describe?
zero appeal to me.
Yeah.
When you were describing, people who don't understand rap or don't know rap, I'm just like, yeah, that's me. That's me.
And of course, he's called like Scallops Hotel. It's the most fucking Joey thing. Yeah, I like shoe cum.
And as you were describing the concept of this, I'm like, this is like 7 layers down of like understanding of
too
like
Joey.
I am fully aware that I'm putting this on a 3x3 and there are going to be maybe 3 people watching this episode who are like, that sounds sick.
I'm sure a bunch of people paused and listened to it and were like,
they're like, the fuck is this?
But it's about connecting with those 3 people
No, I completely understand this is as like niche of a rap subgenre as you can get, but like I really fuck with it.
Does this genre have a name?
I actually don't know. I would say it's like maybe conscious hip hop.
Slippity sloppity.
You're just making shit. I was being facetious.
Nigerian street music.
Go to Rap Ferreira.
I was being facetious just to see if Joey will come up with a name.
Alternative hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay.
A little bit of conscious hip hop in there as well, but like
sometimes I hear music genres, I'm just like, you're just putting words together. That's not
what
a
do you
genre.
mean? Conscious hip hop is a real genre. Look it up.
I have never heard of conscious hip hop.
Anyway, whatever. So yeah,
Bro, making shit up at this point.
Yeah, look, his occupations are rapper, producer, philosopher, and poet.
Okay.
So that just goes to show what kind of person this guy is.
That's someone that maybe Joey would enjoy.
Yeah, I really like this guy. I know a couple of my friends who like this guy as well, but he's very, very niche in that sense. But I fuck with him. Really, really good rapper. And also just like a massive fucking catalog. Like this dude has only been around for like maybe 10 years, but he's released like fucking 20 albums or some shit.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's a hardworking boy. So yeah, if you want something different, check that out.
Check it out.
All right, what else do I have? I guess the nonsense pop-up, because that was like a huge part for this year for me. Went so well, thank fuck.
Oh yeah.
So
would you ever think about doing it again?
In Japan? Yeah, I think I would. I've talked to... I mean, look, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much like work it took to like do something like that. But I definitely would like to do it again because it was a cool experience. Maybe like somewhere in the US maybe next.
Ooh, that'd be exciting.
We'll see.
LA?
Yeah,
Finally,
maybe LA or like
Joey
New York.
to go to America.
Yeah. You want to get me to go to America? Let's open up a pop-up for nonsense.
Yes, sir.
And then the last one I have on the bottom right is a TV show called Sanctuary, which is like quite I think it's for like already a few years old. Right. But it's essentially like it's as you can see from the picture, it's a sumo show. Yeah. And it was like really big, especially in Japan. I think it was last year or the year before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, last year.
God damn.
Last year.
TV miniseries.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good ratings.
But this show is fucking awesome. It's so goddamn good. It's like if you took like the most like hardcore Yakuza like delinquent anime, but made them get invested in sumo.
Right.
It does look like I would enjoy this.
And I know a lot of people who had absolutely zero interest or zero knowledge on sumo who watch this show and are now massive fans of sumo.
Okay, sure.
Because like from what I heard, actually the Japanese sumo committee actually green flagged this show to be like, yes, obviously it's like quite dramatized, but like the actual like technicals that go into it is very close to reality.
Right.
Yeah, I think to film any sumo stuff is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty protective over.
Very much
sumo,
so if that like super protective, sumo committee is like, yeah, this show is fucking awesome. Like we approve of this, then like it's really, really good. The director of this is like a really famous director in Japan. He did a bunch of like Yakuza based like TV. Like he did the Fable, I think it's called.
Oh, Fable?
Yeah, Fable.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So he's the guy who directed the live action Fable.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I think he did the Tokyo Revengers live action as well.
This is all like delinquent stuff.
This is all delinquent stuff.
The Fable is more like assassination. But definitely that kind of like subgenre.
Yeah, so like the main character is like this like mega delinquent who like loses all hope in his life because like his mom is like cheating on his dad, and his dad it like basically like gets into an accident trying to like pay off debts and stuff like that. So it's like repay for his dad for doing that for him. He's like goes to Tokyo to try to like make something of himself, and then he discovers sumo. And he's like, but it's really cool because at first he absolutely like hates the sport, spits all over it, like has no respect for it at all. But then the more he like actually becomes better at sumo, the more he learns to actually appreciate the sport for what it is. Where by the end of it, he like becomes like one of the best in his league. But yeah, really good show.
Oh, Like a Dragon.
Oh, he did Like a Dragon. There you go. Yeah, he did a TV series for that as well. So yeah, he does all of the like Yakuza delinquent, like
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And the action sequences in this are fucking awesome.
It's
He
on
literally,
Netflix? Okay, I'll watch
he
this
literally
shit.
does
This looks
like.
good.
There's so many scenes where like he does like a Zack Snyder bullet time like type of like like the shit in 300.
Yeah.
It's like that,
It's
but
good
in
then, it's
delinquent
good then.
fights, and it's really good. So really short as well.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna
to
say, you said Zack Snyder. The poster looks like sumos if they were shot in 300.
Yeah. It's literally
I was
that.
gonna say, I was like, why are they oiled up? I'm like, oh no, the shadowing is just like super intense and all.
It's literally 300 if there was sumo wrestling, and it's fucking awesome. It's so good. So yeah, there you go.
right.
That's my 3x3.
Let us know what you guys thought about our 3x3s down below. Who had some good takes? Maybe you can tell us about something that you discovered this year that was also amazing.
What did you like in
What did you like this
2024?
Exactly.
Hey, look at all these patrons,
Look at all
though.
these patrons.
I'm sure they
Sexy.
have a lot of things that they would like to discuss down
yeah.
in the comments. Share it with the community. And hey, if you want to support the show and check out weekly Patreon exclusive content, we have a brand new one for you guys that you can go check out right after this episode. Mudan, play a clip.
I am obsessed with drawing Bakugo from My Hero Academia's butt booty naked
with a pussy and getting railed. I have frequent fantasies about him farting on other characters, specifically Kirishima's face, and taking hot, steamy dumps for pleasure. I wish I was joking. I really do. He's my favorite anime cocks. Oh, I don't want to read this. And I don't even like MHA like that. He shouldn't have those fat titties and a snatched waist if he doesn't want to get raw dogged.
Man,
I never asked someone to unsubscribe, but I think I'm about to. But hey, if you want to check that out and support the show in the process, then head on over to patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us some memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And I think next week is the final episode of 2024, I think. So don't miss out on that. We'll see you guys then.
bye.